I am now going to look at fractional indices. Now, some expressions can contain fractional indices. If that happens, we need to use a different mathematical process that may involve more than 2 steps to solve. And I'm going to explain that using these examples here. So I'll start with the first example here. Evaluate without using a calculator. Remember, we are not using a calculator. Now, to work out these questions, we will use this formula here, a to the power m, n is equals to a to the power m, n. So if you have a power over power, you can, all you have to do is multiply the indices. We learned that previously. So this is really not new to you. I'll just put it somewhere there. Now, in this first question, we have 4 to the power 3 over 2. So the first step is to express 4 as a power of 2. We know that 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, and therefore 2 squared is 4. So instead of writing 4, we'll write 2 squared in our question here. So what I mean is, instead of writing 4, I write 2 squared to the power 3 over 2. And remember what I said, if you have a power over power, you multiply the exponents or the indices. So 2 to the power of 2 multiplied by 3 over 2. Now if you have, look at this boy, you have 2 multiplied by 3 over 2. Now 2 multiplied by 3 over 2. If you remember multiplication of fractions, 2 is same as 2 over 1. And if you multiply fractions, you can just multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. You end up with 6 over 2, which is 3. So instead of doing all this process, all we can do is, if we have a question like this one here, 2 multiplied by 3 over 2, you can just cancel this, and then you end up with 3 as your answer, which is basically that. So you don't have to go through all this process. So what I mean here is, we can just cancel this 2 and 2 on condition that there's a multiplication sign in between them. We can cancel them, so we'll end up with 2 to the power 3, because what's remaining there is only 3, and that will be our final answer. The next question, you have 4 here, so I'll express 4 as a power of 2, so 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 2 to the power 5 over 2. Same thing, go ahead and multiply the exponents because you have a power over power. So we'll end up with 2 to the power of 2 multiplied by 5 over 2. And then you cancel 2 and 2, just like what we did in A. Then we'll end up with 2 to the power of 5 as your final answer. Remember, this is 5 here. Okay, in C, we have now 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 is 8. So 2 cubed is 8. So instead of writing 8, we can just write 2 cubed here. So instead of writing 8, we'll just write 2 cubed. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 2 over 3, which will be equal to, we have a power over power, so we use this formula here to simplify the power over power. So 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 2 over 3. Cancel these guys the way we did the previous questions, so remain with 2 to the power of 2 as your final answer. The final question, same thing, 8 is 2 to the power of 3. Now, if you remember, if you notice from what we are doing here, we start by expressing whatever base that we have. If we have 8, we express it as a power of 2. Now remember, 2 is a prime number, so basically expressing it, that number as an index whereby the base is a prime number. So here we'll end up with 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 5 over 2. And, sorry, made a mistake here. This is 3. So this is 3 here. So 5 over 3, which will be equal to, now before I even move on, we are multiplying this guy, so we can cancel that and that. So I'll end up with 2 to the power 5. And that will be my final answer. So the first step, express 8 as a power of 2, multiply your exponents, cancel where necessary, and you end up with your answer.